Paul, you're up next.
Great.
Paul,
Thanks for having me on.
100%, brother. You, your team, and your entire branch had a record-breaking month in March. As a team, you closed 33 transactions for a total of $13.5 million. And as a branch, you guys closed over 220 transactions for a whopping $102 million. Wow. What were some of the key elements that made these insane production numbers possible? And even bigger question is, where does your business come from? Because that's a whole lot of deals for one small team.
Yeah, that's a good. So, well, first of all, I have to say that it took a lot of teamwork.
Sure.
Among many different people in the company, in our branch. So it wasn't just my own production. It was from our branch manager is number 3 in the company, and he has a very large group. But since he's come on in the last 3 or 4 years, he's really built up a lot of our loan officers from a level that they were not at.
Wow.
So we're modeling his approach, which really is based upon a lot of coaching. We do coaching. I do internally with Elevate through Guild Mortgage. I know Casey and his team are right now, a lot of them are down at the Core, which is as a coaching program for real estate agents and loan officers. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't until I really started instilling a lot of those habits and processes in a system that I really started to have the volume increase. I mean, for a long time, I clicked away 20 to 50 clients a year, and that was enough for me to have a good, comfortable living.
Sure.
But like you mentioned, it snowballs. I only work with referrals from either my past clients, current clients, or real estate agents. Only. 100% is all referral based. We don't do any advertising. So it's just through word of mouth and past clients. And early in my career, I recognized that if you can really connect with clients on a deep level, more than just, a lot of people just look at it as an interest rate.
Sure.
The clients want to know they are getting a good rate, but for a lender, we know that there's so much more to the process than just the rate you're offering.
Right.
That's commoditizing really what we do.
Sure.
And I think the issues that are happening with internet lenders is that they're reducing their margins to not pay the loan officer as much, and that's how they're getting these low rates. But then with that comes less service and follow-up. And for us, it's more about connecting with the client, understanding their needs, being available to answer their questions.
Yes.
Myself, I think the bigger teams will always push that down to their team members. I like to still be the one who talks to my client initially, keeps them updated throughout the transaction. I call every single one of my clients on their birth dates. So I have a reminder, so I will text or call my client on all their birthdays. A lot of birthday calls, anniversaries. Every year we check it back in with them. We do a lot of follow-up to connect with them, because we understand that the way to get the most amount of good, strong referrals is to have people you've already worked with recommend you to someone else.
100%.
And that takes away a lot of the price competition.
Absolutely. Okay, so on the subject of coaching, what's something specific that made a major impact in your business that maybe perhaps you knew that you should do, but it was just really clear once you joined the Core that you're like, okay, this is absolutely something I'm doing?
So well, there's a ton of topics there, but the number one thing for me was making a theme day, or every week have a theme, and every day of the week. It becomes kind of monotonous or boring in a certain sense from our end, but it's really important to have structure, because when you are a lender or an agent, you really don't have anyone telling you what to do.
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want every day, and I don't think you have that system that you need to have. So, every Monday we have a very strong pipeline meeting, and we call our real estate agents and check in with them for the week. Every Tuesday is an update call. So I call the clients, the escrow agents, the real estate agents, and update them at a very certain time on the transaction every single week. So they always are updated, and that's something I do they know expected every Tuesday, and our processor does that with the client as well. Every Wednesday we do a pre-approval follow-up, so we check and make sure we're checking back to every single lead. On Thursday we're working with our refinance clients and clients in transaction. Every Friday we're checking back with the agents and the clients to make sure that they have anything that need to do over the weekend. A lot of the stuff we have to do is evenings and weekends. It used to be like, hey, I don't want to work on the weekends. Well, we realize that's where the offers are coming together. We have to be available. So between me and another gentleman on my team, we're available by text and phone. We always write pre-approval letters. We'll do things that the other loan officers, especially the internet lenders, won't be able to do.
Sure.
And that's what puts our clients in the best position when it comes to making an offer on a house.
That's fantastic.
Quick response, pre-approval is done within hours or no more than 24 hours at the time they get an app, and just consistent follow-up.
Yeah. Absolutely love that. There was one thing that really stood out during our initial conversation that you talked about. You really dive deep into trying to figure out who your clients are, their likes, their dislikes, their birthday. Can you discuss that just a little bit?
Yeah, so it's a lot of data to track, but over the long run, I think all of us really want to learn more about our clients besides just their birthday, or how old are their children? Do they go to school? What are their backgrounds? What do they like to do for recreation or when they're not at work? Do they cook? Do they not cook? That all is important data, and right now we're working on a new form to actually get this in a very simple way for the clients to share it with us, but also for us to get that on the agents we work with and the referral partners, as well as the clients. So we know how to respond when it comes time to send them their closing gift.
Sure.
Do I want to send them a custom map of the region that they live? Do I want to send them oil and vinegar or stuff for their cooking in their home? Do I want to send them a bottle of wine or whatever it may be? So you have to know, do they drink or not? Do they have kids? Are they going to like chocolates or not? So there's a lot more to it.
There is.
And having that, we use Salesforce, so a lot of that is really helpful now to have a good CRM where you're putting the information in and you're tracking it.
Yeah.
But you also have to be able to get the information.
Sure.
I invested in a lot of these nice Yeti drink mugs, and I want to send it to every agent I work with on their birthday.
Those aren't cheap.
But I don't know the birthday, so I have to now find out. I can go on Facebook and try to figure out or ask them. But it's a matter of getting a deeper connection with clients. It's not transactional. I mean, to us, we may look just like a commodity. Who's got the lowest rate? But really, in the end, if they don't get their house under contract or close, or they don't close on time, the rate that they're offering online does not matter.
Yeah.
So, I think anytime you can track as much information about your client as possible and know them on a personal level and understand their goals, both short-term and long-term, allows you to be back in front of them when it comes time for them to buy a second home, or for their relative to buy their first home, or for them to upgrade to a next home. And that's, the more you know, the more you can help.
Love that. So as somebody who has been a mortgage lender, 33 transactions in a month, 13.5 is a lot of business. I mean, that's a good year.
Yeah.
Did you ever think that you would achieve this level of volume?
That's a good question. No, I didn't think I wanted to, because I think once you get past a certain level of transactions, it becomes incredibly hard to do it on your own.
Sure.
So you can't. You'll miss things. You'll have one problem file or something that's going on can take your whole day out of the mess. So you have to have a team to do that. There's a certain level I personally never want my business to get beyond.
Okay.
Like I only want to serve my past clients and agents, but do it on a really higher level. I would rather go deeper with my clients than wider with them.
Okay.
So there's a certain point where you need to make sure you also follow up the next month with a very consistent month.
Yeah.
And a lot of that is out of our control too. Where the interest rates, if they take a big jump, we're going to have a little drop in our volume.
Sure.
We're having a lot of, we're talking about purchases to get them under contract. It's not like you can go get 30 people under contract right now.
No.
I mean, maybe it's like we're writing 30 offers and we might get 5. So to sustain the volume, you have to obviously have a team of people, lots of execution, and a credible system to be doing that on a daily basis.
Yes.
Because we did most of this work. I mean, if you go upstairs, there's very few loan officers in there.
Yeah.
All the operational staff is working remotely. So we've had to institute a lot of new technology. We all have our Teams meetings and Zoom meetings. We do almost everything virtually. It really made us better loan officers, because I think we already had that stuff available, but we weren't forced to do it until COVID came through.
Right.
So it's actually improved the way we can provide a service, the speed of service, and the follow-up down the road. But it was, I mean, honestly, if I stayed at 5 to 10 million a month, I'd be perfectly comfortable.
Okay.
And still a small team, because I notice that the bigger the team gets, the less accessible the loan officer is, and the less service the client gets. So I think there's a very comfortable medium there where I would like to maintain in my career.
Okay, excellent. Last question. This was not planned. Starting with you, Brad.
Yeah.
What's next for you? What would you like to achieve or accomplish or see happen in your business by the end of this year?
Good question. Well, my personal goal is to just do 12 million in volume, which I should be able to do this year. But more than that, it's more about the team. So I mentioned just in the intros, the only time I said it, but I'm a part owner in a brokerage called Northwest Home Seekers. And it's a super awesome place because we're so tight knit. I actually grew up playing baseball with a few of the guys. So there's 5 partners and just 3 agents right below that. And so we're super small. We're in Issaquah. We're all local. So that gets me actually more excited. So we'd like to get on a few new agents and kind of grow that out a little bit and get our all the other agents also in better production, myself included. Let's all do more business and grow that little company to a little bit bigger. But we also don't want to get too big either. I think, and it's got to be organic too, because the culture fit is, because we all know each other before anyway. So the culture fit's super important. But I would love to see that company,
Blossom.
grow, blossom. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Thanks, Brad. Sandra?
I have a few goals. Let me
Let's hear
start.
'em.
Well, once I saw and I learned how developing is, I just love it.
Yeah.
I will never stop doing that. I do have a goal of minimum 5 more developments this year. I'm already half through on it, so I only have 2. I mean the other 50% to get rid of. Still looking for it though. In regards bringing more affordable housing, that's something it's going to be a must in the eastern side of Washington. I think we have a need of it, so I will be working harder than I've been doing. And the other goal is the glamping.
Yeah.
Get that glamping baby moving forward. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I love that. No,
I'll invite you guys over, guys.
I'm going for sure.
Yeah. Let me know when I can book a time to stay there. I'm in.
That's amazing. Paul, you're up.
It's in terms of the goals for this year. We always try to push up the amount of units and volume we're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
So we had that goal to go from, let's say, 180 to 220. We're trending for that. I think we're closing today. Will be at like our 85th transaction for the year, but we had a really good start to the year, and it's obviously getting much harder to finish. Last year we finished off with the lowest rates ever, and we had literally dozens or hundreds of past clients that were serviced by Guild. It was just like, no brainers. Go from 4 to 2.5% interest rate. It was like, now it's become much more complicated.
Sure.
You're looking at dropping people's mortgage insurance. You're looking at doing cash out refinances. You're looking at things that take a much higher level of planning. So we use Mortgage Coach to help clients understand their options in detail. So as long as I can maintain what I did last year and slightly increase it, but go deeper with our processes to make sure that we're touching people at all the points that we really want to, because if you get too many, you kind of don't. So, as long as we just improve upon what we did last year and make it a better experience for the clients, I'll be totally excited.
Amazing. Love that. Well, Brad, Sandra, Paul, thank you guys so much for being on the show. I love this panel. Thank you so much. And thank you for tuning in. Make sure to come back to us next week.